ahead and look at this question, which is similar to number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and number all of my numerators and denominators so you can see what it is that I'm working on factoring. So let's go ahead and start off with number 1. So that is x squared minus 4, which is actually the difference of squares, right? That's x squared minus 2 squared. So that's going to factor into x plus 2 times x minus 2. Number 2 is already fully simplified, so there's nothing to factor there. We're just going to leave it as 3x plus 5. And then 3, we have 3x squared plus 8x plus 5. So this is one of those ones where a is not equal to 1, because remember we have ax squared plus bx plus c. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and multiply a times c. So a times c is equal to 3 times 5, which is 15. So now what we're going to do is we're going to find the factors of 15 that are going to add up to b. Okay, so the factors of 15 are 1 and 15 and 3 and 5. We don't need to change the signs because AC is positive, right? So we're going to either have 2 positive or 2 negative. B is positive, so we're just going to have everything be positive. 1 plus 15 is equal to 16, so that doesn't work. 3 plus 5 is equal to 8, so that is the correct combination. So we're going to go ahead and expand this. So we have 3x squared plus 3x plus 5x plus 5. Okay, and then we put the terms into 2 groups. So if we factor out the GCF of the first group, we have 3x times 3x squared over 3x plus 3x over 3x. And so that's going to be 3x times x plus 1. Okay, and then we go to the second group and we factor out a 5. So that's going to be 5x over 5 plus 5 over 5. Okay, so that's going to be plus 5 times x plus 1. So now to finally factor this, we're going to factor out the common binomial, which is x plus 1. And then we have 3x plus 5. Okay, so now let's go ahead and factor trinomial number 4. So that's x squared plus x minus 6. And so now here we have one where a is equal to 1. So if we do a times c, that's just going to give us negative 6. So remember, we need 2 factors of negative 6 that are going to add up to b. b in this case is 1. So the factors of 6 are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Since 6 is negative, we need a positive and a negative factor, right? And remember, the sign of the factor, the bigger factor needs to match the sign of b. So here b is positive, so the bigger factor needs to be positive. And so we're going to make all the smaller factors negative. Negative 1 plus 6 is equal to 5, so that won't work. Negative 2 plus 3 is equal to 1. So that's the correct combination. So since a is equal to 1, we don't need to do extra factoring. We can just write this as x minus 2 times x plus 3. Now let's go ahead and rewrite this original problem with all the factored forms plugged in. Okay, so we're going to have x plus 2 times x minus 2, and that's going to be over 3x plus 5, because that one doesn't change. And we're going to multiply that by what we have over here. We have x plus 1 times 3x plus 5. And in the final denominator, we have our x minus 2 times x plus 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and cancel. Remember, we can cancel if they're on opposite sides of the fraction. So x minus 2 cancel. 3x plus 5, 3x plus 5 cancel. And all that we're left with is in the numerator, we have x plus 2 times x plus 1, and that is over x plus 3. Okay, and that is now the fully simplified form of our answer.